we had a lot of adventures from, you know, making out with random chicks to getting punched in the face to, bar fights. Like we had a street ball at one point. We're all, from my experiences, I burned a lot of bridges and bridges that some of the bridges I wish I didn't burn. But you live and you learn. I slept with quite a few women, and I don't really want to go from standpoint of trying to get laid because I can get that easily.
What's up, Jeremy?
So,
How you doing?
good idea, brother. Growing up, I had a pretty strict childhood. I wasn't allowed to go out, with friends a lot, and I think it's kind of like, how you kind of have a bird in a cage when you release them. So in a way, once I was free, I was just going everywhere
Too,
and anywhere.
too free?
Too free.
Too free? Too good?
Yeah, and I enjoyed the freedom that came with it. Um, but that's kind of how it started. And I had some buddies that did as well. I didn't, find it out till later on. And then we actually linked up with them. We had a lot of adventures from, you know, making out with random chicks to getting punched in the face to, bar fights. Like we had a street ball at one point. We're all, it was like 5 versus 7. That was the craziest out of the.
Like other dudes were protecting women or
Correct.
like
Well, actually, it's funny because there's more to that story. I'll tell you that in the next part because that there's a lot to that story. But long story short, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Okay, so I learned a lot from. I had a lot of fun. A couple things I did was really stupid, but looking back, I think it's good because that's how you develop your character.
yeah, without any kind of experience or like failures, can't really grow. Just starting to be better with women. Like, what's something to be careful with?
That's a good question. I've used to pick up chicks like a long, long time for I don't know how many years, but at least a decade. My best advice is if you really want to start meeting more people, is be genuine and not be a creep because a lot of people they get into the game.
Just have a goal in mind.
Correct.
At the end of the night.
Yeah, at the end of the night.
That's their soul mission.
Correct, because if your end of the goal is just to use people, you go in a dark path, and that's what happened to me, and that's why I stepped away from going out every night with my buddies, and I just kind of just took a break, a time for myself, and little did I realize that that's one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it's kind of like a reset, in a way, like you have a more healthier relationship with people around you, and that helped me a lot when I started approaching people on the street, and it wasn't necessarily from a point of, trying to game chicks. We came, a lot of my buddies that we were doing it as more for music, so we were having fun, and doing that helped boost my confidence too, like talking to people and not be as nervous around, and not take everything so seriously. You have a lot of self-love, that's going to take you a long path. I mean, everyone experiences self-love differently. Some people, they get a full body massage. Other people, get pedicures, manicures. Just figure out what makes you happy. And once you have a lot of self-love and like positive affirmations, and look yourself in the mirror and you're very confident in your body and how you look, and just genuinely happy, it's a lot easier to meet people when you're coming from that perspective versus like coming from a perspective of I'm trying to get laid and I'm trying to do this
Or I'm
and
trying to find a girlfriend. Trying to
correct.
find a wife.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have a set like mission and it's your focus and like that you won't see the person in front of you.
Pretty much. Yeah, when you exactly what Jerry said, when you come to that mindset where you just more direct with your intentions, it's a lot easier to move forward, rather than creating a perpetual cycle where you put others and others and others. I slept with quite a few women, and I don't really want to go from standpoint of trying to get laid because I can get that easily. I'm not talking about paying for a chick, like naturally talking to her. Like I know the steps to do that, and I choose not to. I want to be more disciplined because for me, my main focus right now is building a family. But going off of your question,
Like, say someone's like
if you're trying to meet someone,
24 and like kind of getting slowly getting better with women and stuff. Like, how do they avoid making those mistakes first before they can like decide on the right path, right? Like,
I love that. That's a
like
great
because
question.
it's easy to like make the mistake first and
Look back.
and do differently. But how can like someone learn from you and like make a decision, you know, proactively ahead of time, kind of like not because it's like in your 20s you're really tempted to have sex with them every time you can, kind of a little bit, right? So like how someone watching this, like how do you tell them not to do, maybe don't do that?
So Jared did bring a great question. There's no way to find that out until you look back. And I'm telling you from my experience, my experience is not necessarily going to be your experience. That you're going to be in this dark path where you just try to sleep with people and use them and hurt people. Um, but there's no way around it unless it's like trial by fire, unless you go through it yourself. But from my experiences, I burned a lot of bridges and bridges that some of the bridges I wish I didn't burn. But you live and you learn. But if you try to the easiest way to meet people is not taking yourself so seriously and being very genuine and and just being real because it's really easy to meet people, but a lot of people just get in their head